My name is Coach Steve, the Affordable Life Coach. Encourage everyone would benefit by giving it a try. Complimentary consultation and ridiculously affordable sessions afterwards. Email me in the description. One of the focuses in our society and culture and things that you hear about in psychology are about narcissists and sociopaths, psychopaths, and really the extreme personality types that get all the limelight. What falls below the radar is the people that are not on the extreme, but can be incredibly challenging and difficult to deal with. You might be one of them. You might have coworkers, family, and friends that are one of them, that they just cross and straddle the line of not fully upsetting and outraging people, but yet they're a thorn in people's sides. They could be a thorn in your side, and it's almost more pernicious because it is on an ongoing basis. If someone has this extreme destructive type of personality, hopefully you just go no contact with them if possible. But there are many other people that we have in our lives that can create annoyances, frustrations, aggravations, disappointment, and that constant hum of those emotions of it's frustration. It's not outright anger, but frustration. It's just simmers and simmers and simmers, and then it affects you. It affects us how we feel emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, and it's an unnecessary tax that we probably many of us don't realize we're even paying on having to deal with these people, these types of people. And what I mean, what type of people am I talking about? One of the biggest telltale signs I help my clients zero in on if they are dating someone or they're having issues with someone in their life or they have friends or issues that there's these particular issues they're struggling with. I emphasize, and it is such a good indicator of a person's integrity, of a person's like that you spending time and energy to get to know them and invest in them, is do they keep their word? That is such a like the canary in the coal mine. If they are not keeping their word, it is a red flag. And the problem is, most people don't keep their word. It's just a matter of degrees. And so it's normalized. Oh, well, I'm not going to be too hard on them for not keeping their word because I don't want them to be too hard on me for me not keeping my word. And it's very unhealthy. It doesn't make us feel good about ourselves. We don't trust ourselves. Uh, the thing that a lot of clients that I work with start off with is just rebuilding the trust that they have in themselves because they have broken their word to other people, but most importantly to themselves. Oh, I'm going to do this habit. I'm going to accomplish this goal. I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to be different in the future. And it really is it's not a shock to the system, so it flies below the radar. But the cumulative effect of living like that or engaging with a person like that really is damaging. And I'm dealing with it now, and it's not a friend or a family member or anything or a client or anything like that. It's just I'm trying to get something fixed. And I have been communicating with this person for a long time over emails. And one of the things that I recognize is email is not an effective way to hold these people accountable, keep them in check, to make them follow through on their word or messages. It's just not an effective way. And I've tried different approaches. And one of the things that, if you live your life with integrity, if you're an honest person, you're a trustworthy person, you want to do the right thing in your life, you tend to fall on that bias unless you've been totally soured by our culture and society, but you tend to imbue those characteristics on other people, or at minimum, give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, so I'm going to be patient. And I was very patient with this person. I was very kind. And that's not the language that they understand. And and he's not a bad person. You talk to him and he's a very friendly, nice guy, amicable, and you think, oh, he's going to follow through on what he says he's going to do. But that's not how it works with these types of people, because what happens is they'll smile to your face and then they'll jab you behind your back, or they'll discount you, or they'll not follow through on what they say they're going to do. And it becomes exhausting. And you could deal with this in so many different, when you're dealing with a corporation, when you're dealing, companies, a customer helpline, like it is, you could, what they usually do is they probably about 80%, 90% of the people are people pleasers. Well, maybe not that high. Let's say 50, 60% of the people pleasers, maybe another 20% just don't really care and won't put the extra effort into it. And so what they have realized is that, oh, we can save money, do less work, not have to address, issues our customers or clients are bringing up. And this could be in friendships as well, by just dragging it on and just basically wearing us down, dragging it on, making us jump through more hoops. And their story is always the same. Oh, yeah, well, I couldn't take care of it because of this problem. Oh, I couldn't follow through when I said I was going to meet you or call you or do something for you because I had something else come up. And they're very unreliable and you can't trust what they say. And my approach was with these type of people is just to be very nice, kind, and patient. But that doesn't work, because it's a signal to them that they can keep on putting you off because there's real no cost and they're getting a benefit out of it. So if you don't hold people accountable, they'll continue to engage in the same lazy, neglectful, broken promises behavior. And what they'll do is they'll try to repair the damage each time. Oh, no, no, no. I heard what you're saying. I understand your concern, and uh, I'm taking care of it. We just have to do X, Y, and Z, and then and that shouldn't be that too long. And then 3 months pass, and then like, oh no, well, it was because we're really busy. It's just one thing's to run away from the type of people that constantly have excuses. And it's incredible when I'm coaching clients how they don't even realize how many excuses they have. It's a person who has excuses is disempowering themselves, is not honest. I'm not saying they can't be that way, but if they don't have anyone to tell them the truth, and that's what I do in coaching sessions, I'm very honest and direct with my clients. They're not even self-aware, so they don't even know that's an issue. But people who make excuses, justifications, rationalizations, what they are telling you is, I'm not going to address your concern seriously, or if I am going to address it, I'm going to address it when it's convenient for me. And that could take months or years. Or they what they're telling you is, I just don't care. But I'm going to pretend and smile to your face and pretend like I care. And it's just so frustrating. It's so aggravating to deal with this, because you're taking them at face value because like I said, maybe you're more of an honest person. And what they need is consequences, accountability. And if they don't have that accountability, they will just blow you off. I had another situation where I was trying to get a refund, and my emails, there was no phone contacts because that would be my preferred method. So it was only through email. And they kept on getting, the first email was answered. So I know they were receiving my emails. And then I was asking for a refund. They dismissed it and said, oh, then gave some excuse. And then the subsequent emails, they didn't answer. And so then I'm like, what is going on here? And I go, well, what's going on here is there's no consequences, there's no accountability. And so after I think about a month and 4 emails, I wrote in the subject, before I write on many online reviews, I want to give you one last opportunity to correct this situation. And lo and behold, immediately I got a response. And that's how we work. People work with carrots and sticks. That's just human nature. And if we ignore that and we try the people-pleasing approach and the nice guy, now I'm not saying you need to be rude. And what I do is I give people 3 chances. One, I'm very nice and polite. The second, I'm a little firmer. And the third, there's going to be more consequences. Now, sometimes you might not be able to do this because you're dealing with a boss or someone that's above you, or someone that really holds a lot of leverage of you. First of all, it's really important to try not to put yourself in those types of situations. And it just allows you to be more honest and real. And that's one of the benefits in coaching is I can be honest and real because I'm not attached. I would rather lose some clients because I'm honest and real with them, which to me, as you watch my other videos, it's an act of love. I'm honest and real because I care about them. And if they're going to be defensive, hostile, argumentative because I'm telling them the truth, hard truths they don't want to hear, gradually, then I'm not going to be I'm not going to be as valuable to them. And that's just the reality. It's even works with accountability. Like if you struggled staying consistent and disciplined with habits, what I do with clients is we have uh, consequences. If they do not follow their habit, there is a penalty that to be paid, and there's a consequence. And I cannot believe, since I started implementing this new system, how probably about the beginning of the year, how my clients follow through on their goals and habits has just skyrocketed because it's so easy for even us to dismiss honoring our word to ourselves. Oh, no one's going to know. There's no immediate consequences or danger, or negative nothing negative will happen. So I can put off going to the gym. I could put off eating healthy. I could put off decluttering and simplifying or cleaning, or I can put off having uncomfortable conversations with people because it's important, but it's not urgent. And when something is important, it's not urgent. And that's where we should be spending most of our time. It's so easy to neglect, ignore, and procrastinate. And that's what these type of people do. Like I said, maybe it's 60% of the population. They're just affable enough for you to not get angry with them, but for them to string you along for months, if not longer. And there has to be an assertiveness in our communication with people, and direct communication, not this cowardly email communication or communication. I don't, when I'm coaching clients, it's their default. We're talking about, oh, they bring up, I'm having this issue with this person. And they're like, okay, this is how we address it. And let's practice it and role play and stuff. And then some of my clients at the end, they say, okay, I'll send that email to them, or I'll message them. I'm like, what? How are you going to build your muscle of courage if you're going to email them? And that's what we do in coaching is we practice these difficult, uncomfortable conversations. And I give clients tools and strategies on how to navigate them so it's doesn't have to be explosive or escalate. But if you have these type of people in your life, they're just kind of like lukewarm. reliable maybe a third of the time, and they try to do damage control or repair. Oh, I'm so sorry. And they have a good excuse. Oh, I was, yeah, I was going to pay you back the money I owe you, but dot, 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 whatever they got going on. They realize they engage in this behavior because it works, because most people don't call them out on it, and they get rewarded from by this behavior. And we got to start being real and authentic and direct and open and honest with people, and give them an opportunity to correct the situation. And then after a while, drop the hammer. Like, enough is enough. Here's the consequences. And I'm not talking anything physical. I'm not talking anything rude or aggressive. No, that's not, you don't need to go there. It's the tone and energy in which you deliver the message. And these type of people can sniff out weakness. And that was my mistake in what I was telling you. I was trying to get something repaired, is I was being polite, because the person did have some leverage, and I didn't want to upset him. And meanwhile, I'm expending so much energy trying to get this issue resolved, to no results. And I don't want to be a person, and I don't want my clients to be people that live their lives in fear. It makes us feel like crap about ourselves, about life. And it's a toxic emotion that unfortunately most people struggle with on a ongoing basis. It's a muscle that gets developed when it is challenged to grow, when there's resistance, and you push through the resistance, and you lift the heavy weight, and you do the hard work, and you have some support and accountability. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish with this new way of walking through life. And the nice thing about it is it puts you in a state of flow. You don't get stressed and anxious and worried. Some of my clients, they'll talk to me about, oh, I'm really worried about, this interview or this conversation, or how I'm going to deal with this. I'm like, stop. You don't have to do all that mental preparation. Now, maybe you want to write a few bullet points, that's fine. But it's really fear that activates overly a mind that ruminates, and will, like, just sometimes keep you up at night or stress you out. And when you start developing this skill and this muscle of regularly, even daily, even small little baby steps, stepping out of your comfort zone, you start trusting yourself that I don't need to overly worry about what I'm going to say. I'm going to know what to say in the moment, because I'm not going to censor myself. And I have practice, and I have the muscle of courage backing me up. And for believers, I have God on my side, and the Holy Spirit that will empower me to be able to handle these types of situations. It's it's a completely new life, and that's why they call it born again. It's just completely new life. You're your new self. And when you have God on your side, who can be against you? Now, I know I took this video, all we jumped around a little bit on. I hope you found the message useful. Is be courageous in your communication, be direct, and do, if you have the ability, do what you can to hold people accountable. When people have consequences, they will respect you more. I have one of my friends, he would always show up really late. We would get together, he'd be like a half hour late, 40 minutes late. Sometimes he wouldn't show. And I said, if you don't I think at the time, I wouldn't even do this now. I said, if you don't show within 15 minutes of the appointment, I'm leaving. And so one time I was at a restaurant and he didn't show up, and I left. I would say, if you don't show up on time, you give them warnings, because I'm making the effort, and it's disrespectful for other people to not make that effort. Especially when you're leaving your house, you're getting in your car, and there's other things that you could be doing. So that is a really nice way to live, is to be a man or woman of your word. It feels so good. And if you want support on that, please email me in the description. If you want to support the channel, there's a PayPal link. And as always, I appreciate your comments. And if you want to see more videos, consider subscribing and liking. It always helps. And lastly, the last thing, please just do at least one or two of these things to help support this small fledgling channel that's been around for 17 years. And I've been coaching for 15 years. It's incredible. If you want to support the channel, you could also share this video because we all know people that can use and benefit from this type of message and possibly even from coaching. Thanks for watching.